Check your phone's health app. It probably tracked your heart rate this morning, maybe flagged a headache pattern. You tap a button and a doctor calls you back. But 7,000 years ago, your ancestors faced a different kind of headache, a skull fracture, a seizure, a brain swelling with no name yet, and they had no hospital, no anesthesia, no antibiotics. Just a flint blade, steady hands, and a survival rate that will make you question everything you assumed about primitive medicine. Let's start with what the procedure actually was: trepanation, cutting or scraping a hole directly into a living human skull. No painkillers, no sterilization as you'd recognize it. The patient was awake. The popular image is a shaman randomly hacking at a skull in some ritual panic. Archaeology says otherwise. At a Neolithic site in France, researchers examined 120 skulls. 40 had trepanation holes. Toolmark analysis proved a consistent method: slow, shallow scraping in a circular motion, widening gradually, stopping just short of the dura mater, the membrane protecting the brain itself. 1 millimeter of error meant death. They didn't make that error most of the time. Here's the part that stopped researchers cold: bone regrowth. Smooth, rounded edges around most of these holes mean the patients didn't just survive the surgery, they lived for years afterward. Some skulls show 2, even 3 separate healed trepanations on the same person. That's not one desperate gamble. That's a repeat patient, and a surgeon they trusted enough to go back to. Estimated survival rates at some sites top 70 to 80%. Compare that to battlefield skull surgery in the American Civil War, thousands of years later, with metal tools and germ theory just emerging, where survival rates were often below 50%. How? Selection of tools mattered. Obsidian blades, when properly worked, produce an edge sharper than modern surgical steel, cutting cleanly instead of crushing bone and tissue. Post-operative care mattered too. Residue analysis on skull edges shows traces of plant compounds with documented antiseptic properties packed directly into the wound, and the reasons for surgery weren't guesswork either. Many trepan skulls show prior fractures directly beneath the hole, meaning the surgeon was relieving pressure from bleeding or swelling. That's not ritual. That's a diagnosis. Modern neurosurgeons studying these remains have said the same thing military engineers said about Ice Age shelters. The technique was sound. The logic was sound. Given the same tools, a trained surgeon today could perform the same procedure and expect a similar outcome. We didn't invent surgery. We inherited it, refined across thousands of quiet, terrifying operations performed by firelight by people with no name for infection who nonetheless understood precisely how to avoid it. Next time you tap that health app without a second thought, remember, someone, 7,000 years ago, held a blade to another person's skull and got it right, repeatedly, with nothing but stone, patience, and the refusal to lose them.